Good afternoon and welcome on down to Treeby Community Centre and what is one of the most pearler winter days you'll ever see in Perth, WA. We've been facing rain all week and Donny Bell, well, he's sprung out of the ground like a lily. He's up for a big couple of games this afternoon.
Absolutely, mate. It is, 23 degrees. There's a light breeze blowing across the ground. It is perfect conditions for rugby league, and we have got two of the most exciting teams in this competition coming up against each other. They played a few weeks ago down in Rockingham. Rockingham got the better of them that day. But the Sharks, coming off the bye, but the week before the bye, they got a lesson from the Joondalup Giants. So they're looking to bounce back and show that they deserve to be atop this ladder.
It's funny always when you see the first couple of rounds of this men's NRL season kick off, and sometimes you see a clear divide early, but this year is one of the special ones where that top four is dicing around each other pretty strongly at the moment. There's a lot locked up on points, and percentage is the only real divider between a few. Donny Bell, obviously the most experienced man in NRL WA, and it's a privilege whenever I get to spare Saturday to come and call this great game instead of just jumping in for the grand final. So we see both teams in the second grade just making their way off the field. We're going to start summarising this one. I mean, key couple of ones for you this afternoon. Don, is there any outs to speak of first up?
Well, I guess the key thing we need to point out is that the Fremantle Roosters, I get the feeling they're really going to be up for this one. Bjorn Crotty, his 100th game. He's one of the most popular players in this team. You know, he's 4-time Premiership winner, 7-time state representative, 4-time CAS representative, 4 times NRL WA Team of the Year, and has won Man of the Match in a grand final. Ron Hudson medal winner as well. So he has done it all. There'll be a hell of a lot of effort, I think, from the Fremantle Roosters to try and go out there and get a win for him. So I think that's a massive plus for them. As I say, the Rockingham Sharks, Serlapera coming back into the side, I think is a good inclusion for them out in the centres. Looking forward to seeing, because him at his best, he's a very, very good player. I think last season we didn't see much of him at his best. I'm hoping to see some of that today because he's an exciting prospect out wide.
See the ladder that's now popped up onto your screens and shows you how tight it is. Rockingham are on top with 1 game less played, which is a very interesting statistic if you want to dive a little deeper into the way the world works. But that difference for the second and third side, only 8 points differential for them. And Joondalup Giants with a 10-point differential. Everyone in positive except for South Perth, but we can touch on them in a couple of match of the week's time. And then we look at the results from last week. Fremantle Roosters 38 over the Sea Eagles and the Joondalup Giants 24-12 over South Perth. And you said there was a couple of late ones in that Fremantle Roosters game last week? Or is that another one we were touching on before the game?
Yeah, that was the last time these two teams played. So it was Fremantle and Rockingham. Rockingham led 28-0. And the impressive thing about Rockingham that night was that Fremantle weren't that bad. So the fact that they led them 28-0, 12 minutes to go before a couple of junk time tries for the Roosters got them 12 on the board. Finished a lot closer than they probably deserved. But Rockingham, very impressive last time these two teams met. Today's a different story, though. This is the home of the Roosters. There's a milestone match. They've also named an incredibly strong team, the Roosters. We don't have their updated team list, but certainly the team that we got sent during the week. It's an incredibly strong team. Tuakana Rangi-Hayat to back it, his preferred position at fullback. I think that's a good move. Paul Kemp is also he's probably the highest quality fullback they've got, but he's a more experienced player, and moving him into the halves I think makes them stronger. I think they're a very, very good-looking team there. Delane Edwards in the 12 jersey. He's a guy that
does.
Well, he can do anything, can't he? Yeah. Like I don't know that there's a position on the field where you go, well, Delane can't do that. He can do absolutely anything. So him on an edge, I think, is going to be dangerous. Although we know He might start there. He might play a bit of 9. He might play a bit of fullback. He'll play in the halves. He'll be all over the field. He'll do everything.
Kind of runs around where the sub pattern is. If someone needs to come off, he'll take their spot and you bring on an extra forward. Another one I'm looking forward to this afternoon. It's actually the 7 and the 8. Sonny Kerr and Ezra Taumea. Ezra Taumea, just getting a couple of whispers on the lines, a couple of things that I get out of the women's competition. Taumea family going strong at the moment, and they think it follows through well into him. So Fremantle Roosters, I think they're a little bit unstoppable today, but history says that Rockingham, if they get out to a quick start, that they could very, very well be hard to reel back in. I mean, early tip. We'll touch on the second game of the afternoon and after. A quick little tip out of yourself, Donny.
Yeah, I think the Fremantle Roosters win this one. I just think there's too much sort of pointing towards the Roosters. It's at home, the Bjorn Crotty milestone. I think they're going to be up and about. It's a really strong team on paper. Everything to me is pointing towards a Roosters win. But you write off the Rockingham Sharks in 2024 at your own peril. They missed finals last year. A 5-team competition, only one team misses finals. It was the Rockingham Sharks last year. They've come out this season with a point to prove, and so far they're proving it, and they're proving a lot of doubters wrong. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see them turn up and have a red hot crack. But I've got to go the Roosters.
That's fair enough. I think I'll tip them as well. The question will be, is it 4 points, 12 points, or is it 24 points, Donny?
Well, that's an unanswerable question, really. I mean, the Fremantle Roosters, they're the best momentum team in the comp. If they get on top, they'll run away and win this game easily. And that's just the way they play. But if Rockingham can get this one down and dirty and a bit gritty, then, I think if they can stay close enough, they're good enough.
A good game of footy just about to get underway. You see in the background the Fuel to Play and Go sponsorship looking beautiful in the Perth sunshine. We'll be set and ready to go. Didn't get time to touch on it, but make sure you stay tuned all afternoon. We've got Queensland Police taking on the Combined Allied States straight after this game. So 2 good games of rugby league underway. Donny Bell, take it away. Deep kick-off from the Fremantle Roosters.
Rockingham Sharks with first use of the ball. Bringing it back will be Louis. Takes it forward for the Sharks, and the first carry of this game underway. Move across field, and not too far to move there. I think that's Marcel Loader. He's got some new boots. He usually has the flashy pink boots. But a little bit more conservative there today. Bjorn Crotty, a bit of push and shove between Crotty and both, and then the exchange of pleasantries at the end of it. Louis, he's tipped around there on that occasion, his second run in this set. Now the Sharks up over the halfway line. And the 12 jersey there, Cooper Sanders. Tudor Edwards gets the kick. Down deep, and a good chase from the Sharks. Make great first contact through McIntyre. And the Roosters, their first use of the ball.
How is Keelan Tudor Edwards going? Start of this year, I mean, obviously highly touted off the back of a good season last year.
Yeah, he's playing a lot more in the halves this season. So sort of played as a running forward last year. He's taking more of a playmaker role this season, and it seems to be sitting well with him. He's not the traditional shape, I suppose, of a ball-playing half, but he's certainly got that skill set, and he's doing fantastically well. There's Tyapa Graham put down there in jersey 15.
Short kick.
Well, not the best of kicks there from Kemp.
Just into nothing space, really.
Didn't have the depth that he would have liked on it. Oh, that one goes through the hands. Luckily, it goes backwards. Everyone stopped. The Sharks gave themselves up. It was clearly went backwards. But, they were expecting the whistle there from the referee. Wasn't forthcoming. Sanders makes that tackle. And Tudor Edwards working down the short side. The pass is put down. Rockingham, well, heads drop a little bit there.
It's not a bad switch either. And Tudor Edwards was on it early and everyone was on board with what was happening. We just need a little bit more grippo on the hands. No excuses with weather today at all. As we spoke about, 23 degrees and absolutely glistening all over the state of Perth this afternoon. Kemp fed the scrum, didn't want a bar of it at the back of it though. He's going to stay on the short side. Expect it to get fed back down here.
Well, we talked about Delane Edwards and the role that he would play. He's not playing on an edge. He's actually starting in the 9 jersey at dummy half. As they work down a short side, the extravagant dummy from Kemp. Doesn't really fool anyone. The Sharks' defence stays tight. So now the Roosters looking to go through the middle. Let's towel me up. Now comes out wide. They go right out to the wing and a chance to stepping back infield towards the line. The Sharks, the sliding defence gets across. Prevents that from being a try as Manu goes again. Kerr puts the kick in behind. They chase through. Bjorn Crotty throws him into the garbage bin. Taking out the trash.
It's good defence early. I mean, you saw Roosters probably weren't looking to go through all those sets of hands that early in the set, and it kind of muddled up the rest of what they wanted to achieve. But Rockingham Sharks look really strong in the middle, chasing up well. Big dropout coming. You see that tackle again on replay. Hopefully the bin was relatively empty, not too much for the ball kids to clean up. Dropout falls on the 40. Roosters straight back in, hit hard. Strong effort by Ben Bolt out of the line. Crotty will be due a big run here in a minute.
Good shot.
Mitchell Rory met well.
Dominated the tackle, he's allowed to work.
Now we start to see the hands moving again. Nothing too much there. And we'll get an obstruction penalty.
We hear the commentary there from the referee, Ben Solomon, just explaining that you caught it on the inside shoulder and then ran around him. And it's always difficult. Like we see that those sorts of calls in the NRL after they go to after they go to the bunker to have a look at it. For a referee to pick that up on the run is very high quality. To be able to acknowledge that and see what's happened and players obstructed.
It's just good positioning by the referee to be on the angle and be confident on the line. Edwards with a bit of space to manoeuvre. This time just tucks it up on the inside. Still looking dangerous short side. Got a good couple of one-on-ones that they can match up hard on. Tudor Edwards steps through a couple, gets to the line, offloads out left-hand side. Moaga tries to go through. Just might be held up across the line. Even half a metre short. That helps out for the Rockingham Sharks. And to set deep here. They're very flat across the line. They're going to have to skip out Edwards. Set up in the middle of the ground. Loader will go under the sticks. Now they can start running onto the footy. Back door. A little double pump fake and high ball into the corner. Just overcooked and it'll bounce away.
Well, Coleman, he will be filthy at himself with that kick. He's usually pinpoint accurate with it. That one missed by a long way. We were talking a bit about golf earlier. That one is in the woods and you're going looking for it.
It's luckily I didn't have to search too many this morning. Good round at Hammersley. I'm a happy kid. Made me late to here though.
Well, you could have been later, mate. If you hadn't have played so well, you might have still been looking for the ball on the 17th and not here yet. But lucky to have you here.
Had a contingency plan of skipping the last 3 if there was not a round on, but didn't need to pull the trigger.
Now tie up a Graham. Driven backwards. That doesn't happen too often to tie up. Now Sanders up towards the halfway line. He's put down by Moronga. Now the Roosters tipping it along as they do. Short passing and now they fling it out a bit wider. Manu straightens the attack. But nowhere for him to go eventually. Good defence there from the Sharks, not allowing him too much space and room to work as Kerr. He gets underneath it. There's a lot of people looking at it, waiting for it to come down. And again, the Roosters, another kick, and again, not a lot of depth. So we see the Sharks now coming away from their own end. Put down by Talmia. Crotty looking to put the herd on in game number 100. M&D awareness round here in the Fuel to Go and Play Premiership. Round 8.
Hands out there. Go for.
The Sharks, a short, flat ball. Picking up Louis. Stands in the tackle, carrying Delane Edwards as far as he can. Before he's put down by Taumia. And now Tutor Edwards. He gets underneath that one and going backwards. The Roosters get in each other's way. Luckily knocked back, and they're able to go back and clean it up through Sonny Kerr. But they almost caused themselves a problem there, the Roosters.
Just got to reorganise a little bit here. They're slow to get into structure. Forwards will buy them some time. But they don't want to allow Rockingham just to send a couple of shooters up in a row. This territory battle pretty even so far through the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Hold. Go for.
Now they can look to work short side with a couple of backdoor options. Up onto halfway. Nicely carried again by Manu.
Hands out now.
Gets flipped backwards by his opposite number, Pera. They're going to release a high midfield bomb. Didn't actually float for that long.
No, it wasn't your traditional Sonny Kerr kicking the belly of the ball. He does have that ability to kick the ball very, very high and impossible to catch. I've stood underneath a couple of them myself, and I deem it impossible. It's impossible. You can't do it. I don't know how.
It's just the wave
I've seen
on the
people
way
actually
down.
do it, but it's
All
they're
luck.
freaks.
Yeah.
No, mutants. The only ones that can catch the perfect Sonny Kerr bomb, but he didn't get hold of that one.
This one's a bit big again.
That's going to go touch and goal, and big kick goes just a little bit too long, and you get the 7 tackle set. So a big advantage for the Fremantle Roosters, not what the Rockingham Sharks would have wanted. It's 0-0 here on the Cash Converters scoreboard as Kerr. Mitch Kerr, that is, on this occasion. Taking the ball forward. Driven backwards, some good defence. Getting underneath Brodie Gilchrist. Nice shot. Now here's Ratamia. Taking it up towards the 40-metre line, just short of that mark. Kemp. Again throwing the dummy, but no one falling for it. Stayed right on him there, did Deontay Moronga. He chases from marker and makes another tackle on Graham. Now Edwards, they keep going down that side. That's played at by James. Goes back infield, and luckily the Sharks are able to clean it up because that would have been a repeat set. Well, they seem to have identified something on that right-hand side, but the Sharks look pretty solid there to me.
They're not really giving any signs of defensive holes at all. I mean, from what we've summarised, there's a bit of wind going towards grandstand side, and Rockingham are favoured to kick and to run that way, but maybe it's a matchup they're trying to isolate. Don't really see who they're going to really go for. I mean, the most likely man to go through is Moronga, but he's been the attacking weapon on the opposite side.
He's probably the name that I know the least about, Deontay Moronga. Maybe the Fremantle Roosters have seen his name on the team list and thought that's an avenue to attack, but he's been very good defensively so far. Safitu Kerai puts a bit of a nothing kick through. The whistle is gone, and a penalty for offside against the Roosters late in the tackle count. Well, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, because it's tight here. The ball from Tutor Edwards, the runner was in a hole, and I thought maybe if we were going to get a whistle, it's going to be a really stiff obstruction, but I didn't hear comms the whole way back of calling someone out. We might have just had a connection problem to the ref mic, but who knows? Fresh set.
Rockingham at 0-0 deciding against the 2 points there. It was a gift 2 points just to the left-hand side of the upright. So they want to come away with 4 or 6 if they can.
Release now, stand up.
As Pera's put down. Just up against that right-hand touchline. Slow play the ball. They come back towards the middle. Both. He was looking for Crotty but couldn't find him. Those two already had a little bit of a battle. He again gets up with a smile on his face. Tutor Edwards pushes away from Kemp, pushes away from 2, 3, 4 more. Now he gets towards the line. He's not too far away. Tries to crawl towards it. Gilchrist at dummy half. Holds up the pass. It goes out to Coleman.
Oh.
Coleman puts it down. Counter-attack. We can have a double knock on. First one against the Sharks.
First bit of laziness we've seen all afternoon, the tackling on Tudor Edwards there. He bounced off 3 or 4, but they weren't genuine bounce-offs, they were slip-offs, and let him get oddly close to the line.
Need a halfback.
Deep scrum.
Hold. Head in. Delane, head in.
Fremantle Roosters to work out of their back half. Might even release this one early. Short side. Didn't really give them the look they were after. Running into a pack, Mitchell Rory. Oh, he's lost it underneath as well. Points are brewing here, Donny. There's going to be an early start to what could be a successful Rockingham Sharks afternoon. Probably shouldn't have wrote them off with this. I think we've maybe encouraged too heavily on Crotty's 100th.
He shakes his head, shrugs his shoulders. I wouldn't want to be running at him this set of 6. He'll be looking to make up for that one, Crotty. So now the Sharks, an opportunity to pounce. Going wide to Fitu Kerai. He dances with 3-4 Fremantle Roosters. They hold him up. They drive him towards the sideline. I don't know if the referee's ever going to call held. There's no Sharks in there to help him. And they just take him over the sideline. They could have put him in the ambulance. They could have taken him anywhere there. It was great defence, but there was no urgency from the Sharks to try and get over there and help him.
It's an awkward position to be on second tackle as well. 5 out from the line. Don't know why you make your winger so vulnerable.
Now 12 stand up behind the line.
Well, very early in the set, and the Roosters, they make up for the Crotty era. Now they work it out of their own end.
He wants one back on the inside here, Crotty.
Releasing now.
Kerr, as we hear that wind whistling through the effects mics. Delane Edwards tips that one on to Wilson Wiley.
Crotty offloaded, backdoor, and they opt to go over the top. Nice palm off on the inside, crunched him from behind by Tudor Edwards. And Kemp gets away with it, gets crunched as he tries to hoik one into the backfield.
Yeah, no, I thought the penalty was coming there. The effort there on Pora Kemp definitely attacked the legs. I was waiting for the ball to land to see if the whistle was going to come, and it did. So penalty to the Roosters. We see the replay on the kick. Definitely dives in at the legs, which you can't do.
Not opting for the 2 either.
Both teams have said no to 2 points. They've had that gift in front to try and break the nil or deadlock. They haven't taken it so far. Now the Roosters, the first real attacking opportunity they've had. Pora Kemp, dummy to the outside, goes back to Edwards. Edwards a bit of slow play as well. That was very, very ordinary from the Roosters. Ends up with Sanders. He plays it back. Now Crotty gets the pass away. What a ball! And over go the Roosters. They score the first try. Jules Wilson-Wiley dots down under the sticks. It's 4-0. Kick to come, and the 100-game man has an impact.
I mean, it's a shame he doesn't get his own bicky, but that's one of the balls he's probably ever thrown. And he's got up and he didn't even celebrate initially. He just wanted to walk it off. Mr. Cool for a little bit. First points of the afternoon. Good work to turn it down. Got one down in the back play, probably one of the tacklers.
Yeah, one of the Sharks players stayed down. I'm not sure exactly who it is, but the trainer's with him. The referee going over now to see if he's okay. It might delay the conversion attempt just slightly.
Time off now.
But yeah, fantastic stuff from Bjorn Crotty. Remembering back to when he started this career, he's sort of a middle forward now, front row, lock forward. But started in the halves. He was a bit of a ball player. He still rates himself as a half. It's a bloke that can control the action. But he's now a lot more of a ball player after contact, as we see there. Going through the line, around the corner pass to Jules Wilson-Wiley.
Should be pretty rudimentary. Hapara Kemp here, but he's given it the full run up.
He could kick it with his hurl if he wanted to, but I think he's going to go the more conventional route. Knocks it over from bang in front and on the cash converter scoreboard. It's the home team, the Fremantle Roosters, leading the Rockingham Sharks. 6 points to 0. About 18 and a half minutes gone.
Pretty hard to summarise first 20 minutes. Skill probably being the biggest barrier for both sides.
Well, you'd say Rockingham, arguably the better team in that opening 20 minutes. Really, we've only had one opportunity down that end of the field for Fremantle, and they've turned it into 6 points.
It'd be about 57 to 43 territory, that's for sure. Wouldn't be a huge number yet this early, but yeah, you're not right. 20 metre entries is probably 4 to 1 at the moment. As the Roosters recover, very deep.
Will's Talamavao onto the field. He looks like he's slotted into the dummy half position. Punching in behind the ruck. A good run there for the Roosters. Will's Talamavao in 18. So now Kerr. He stands in the tackle with Coleman and Pera before eventually being put down. Massimo Takakakabau playing the ball there. Out the back. Rangi Hayata to Edwards to Kemp. Kemp stepping, jinking, weaving. Wanted an inside runner, but he's shut down nicely there by the Sharks. Goes back to Rangi Hayata for the kick. He gets underneath it, and again, no depth. Happy to kick it into no man's land, and a chance for the Sharks! Attacked by Coleman! Coleman towards the line, Rangi Hayata! About all he can do is keep him out wide! And the Rockingham Sharks, will they respond? And get back into this game, 6-4, kick to come, Kelvin Coleman. Well, that's an opportunist try, if you've ever seen one.
Well, it comes off the back of that kick just once again. Not deep enough, finds an awkward bit of space. And, well, there was a lucky bounce in there and picked up very well by Kelvin Coleman and took a lot of stopping all the way down into the corner. Touchy would have had a good view of that one where it wouldn't have had a qualm in sight. 2 points the margin, can be levelled up. A very good quick response. It's only been 2 minutes since the last try.
Well, it's been one of the more intriguing things about, and again, maybe it is to do with the breeze blowing into the face of the Roosters in this first half, but they haven't had any depth on any of their kicks, and that time they get punished. It was allowed to bounce because it bounced in no man's land, and it bounced back towards the Roosters, and when Coleman got the ball, there wasn't a Fremantle player in front of him, so was able to run away. Rangi Hayata did well to make the conversion attempt difficult, but that was about all he could do. He was never getting there to stop him from scoring. 6-4. And it will be a tough kick. Whenever it is windy, always tough to kick these ones from the sideline. I find when it's still, it's pretty tough to kick them from the sideline.
And he's been favouring kicking to that far side of the ground, so if anything, this has got to be just outside left upright. Nice little fader in. Looks pretty confident behind it, though.
We shouldn't have too many problems with distance. Puts it up. The touch judges don't move. They never moved a muscle as that one drops over the black dot. And it's 6-all. The Rockingham Sharks showing why they are top of the ladder, looking to respond after their loss a couple of rounds ago.
He was caught watching that kick for a long time as well, Keelan. He sat there, he didn't celebrate, but he sure had a good stare and watched that one sail through, put it in the bank.
Yeah, he took some mental photos, didn't he? That's perfect. I'm sure he'll be hoping he gets a couple more opportunities from that spot. Asula Pera as an absolute mare. That one bobbled around awkwardly. He sort of planted his feet, then his hands went towards the ball, but his feet were stuck in mud. Knocks it on. Wow, just handing an opportunity back to the Fremantle Roosters.
Only be 20 metres out. Real good chance to score. Delane in the scrum of all places now.
Iata to Kemp. Kemp does that little skip across field. Tie up at Graham. Takes on Barclay. Barclay makes the tackle. And they do well to slow that play the ball down as well. Now they come back towards the middle of the field. Stepping, weaving. Trying to go through the middle. Now Crotty. We know how dangerous he is, so make sure they wrap up the ball that time. Wells Talamaveo has a bit of a look, goes to Kerr, goes wide up. Manu, he looks to take on Pera. Pera up to the task on this occasion with a little bit of assistance from the troops. Now Mitch Kerr, well, I said Bjorn Crotty's a ball player. I don't know whether Mitch Kerr fits into that category. Just takes it forward there in the end. Now Sonny Kerr. That's played at by the Sharks, but they get to it first. Dive on it. Cleaned up by Ramika. And nice work for Rockingham. Good defensive set from the Sharks.
It's been the highlight of them so far. They've been able to release by boot when they've had these high defensive sets and worked up the ground nicely. They overcooked a couple of kicks, but hopefully they can start finding the radar. Keelan to Edwards soon. Just a patient wait at the back here. Gilchrist wants to bounce this one back on the left-hand side. Quick play of the ball will be crucial coming off the back of this. Not held. Allowed to keep going. It was held. So no quick play of the ball for Ben Bolth. Last. Edwards does go high instead this time. Good testing ball, lost backwards. Allowed to play on. Counter-attacking opportunity, not too far, but a good chase. Did a lot of work up the ground there to power job. Riggs gets to his feet, can play two tips off if they want. Couple of subs looking to get their hands dirty though. Still a good chunk of this half remaining. Through a couple of sets of hand. It's starting to become readable though. It's always been left so far in this half. Rory plays. I should say Mitch Kerr, sorry. Kemp catches it really deep. Might have to look over the top. Instead just shoulders arms. So going to have to get creative on last with 45 the journey. No real position to speak of. They try jab through, charge down, and play on. And cracking through the line to Lane Edwards. One more to beat. Steps on the inside, only held onto by the jersey. Breaks free to Lane Edwards. Well, I'm going to have to need to look at the replay. He slams that one down with a bit of style. Try goes to the Roosters. Not sure if that's off a Rockingham player or Delane's just caught it offside and got away with it. You think the referees are a bit wise to that. Tudor Edwards will ask the question, but the try has been awarded nonetheless. 10-6 kick to come. Delane Edwards again.
Well, there was three Rockingham players there that came across to make that tackle. They've run into each other and allowed that has allowed Delane Edwards to actually break through a three-man tackle because the Sharks took each other out in desperation. But he is a tackle buster. We talked about the opportunist try for Kelvin Cole, and that was a little bit the same there for the Fremantle Roosters. Not the best of kicks from Sonny Kerr, deflecting off the Sharks' defenders, straight into the arms of Delane Edwards, and away he ran for the try.
The thing about that kick, though, as well, is it did kind of look like he was intentionally going for a punch about 2 metres high in the air, which it's not high, it's not low, and it probably is going to get contacted by someone. You couldn't draw it up as a play, but
No,
I don't really know what the thinking is with that kick.
I don't understand the tactical kicking game of the Roosters so far. All I can surmise is that running into a breeze, they're trying to keep the ball low below that wind. It hasn't been pretty, but it's been effective. As we see the conversion attempt from Kemp puts them in front 12 points to 6. So they're getting the job done, and they're going to have the breeze at their back in the second half. So Rockingham haven't been able to use that to their advantage at all so far.
Yeah, well, if they get another quick reply, though, they won't be too sore about the situation. Just on replay as well, we saw a beer can, probably from the earlier bin tipping, was rolling around in goal there while Delane was scoring the try.
Tudor Edwards back to the halfway line for the kickoff. Gets plenty on it. Sonny Kerr takes it, and Onosimo Takakakabau brings it back for the Roosters. So it looks like no Simon Tabakanaka from the team list we were originally given. Onosimo coming into the side instead. Crotty. Actually, that might be Panaha, rather. Taking that one forward through the middle as the Roosters now rolling through. Rangi Hayata into the backfield. They won't catch him. Tuakana. Rangi Hayata goes all the way. Dots down under the sticks. Well, that was all started by the number 10, Ezra Tamia. Caused havoc and then found a quick man through the middle of the field and dashed away with the prize.
It's two really good offloads we've already seen this afternoon by the Fremantle Roosters. I mean, sometimes no real rights to be throwing those balls on the inside, especially that one early in the set. Half a line break, but not quite there, Talmea, and managed to flick it off to a well-positioned fullback. Absolutely creaming through the line.
Well, if you're going to find somebody in support that far out, I think Tuakana Langiata is exactly the man that you wanted to find. If you could pick anybody in this 17, he's the man you'd want there. And jogging on the spot was always going to be difficult for the Rockingham defence from that point. As soon as he got the ball, you thought he was going to run away and score, and he did. Poor Kemp. Well, they'd be loving where they're scoring the tries at the moment, making his job easy. Even with this howling breeze.
Yeah, the sea breeze is just really... I mean, look at the uprights there. They're going absolutely ballistic up high. Be interesting to see just how hard it is to play into in the second half. I mean, Roosters are making it look easy at the moment, but certainly wasn't windy like this morning. It's absolutely screaming through off the coast now. More rain to come, maybe, Donny.
Well, perhaps, but clouds don't look too threatening around Treeby at the minute. So hopefully it holds off until after the double header is finished.
Yeah, I think it's more about 2 a.m. by the looks of the sky at the moment, but it's something's coming.
Well, 2 tries in 2 minutes. We said at the top of the show that the Fremantle Roosters are the best momentum team in the competition. Well, guess where all the momentum is at the moment? Wells Talamavayo getting out of dummy half, and he picks up a good 15 metres. Rangi Hayata gets to dummy half. He goes out with Panaha. Panaha's bent a little bit backwards there by Barclay. They keep going to that side. Kemp goes wider. Chop down low there is Talmia. No offload on this occasion. Wells Talamavayo. They go back towards the middle for the kick for Kerr. Gets underneath it. The Sharks allow it to bounce. It bounces kindly for them. Luckily for them, more so than anything else, but didn't want to catch that one on the full.
Made really good contact that time, and still only about a 1.5 second flight time. It's getting ripped back down to earth somehow.
Gravity's a little bit higher here in Treeby than anywhere else in the planet.
All the way on top of the treetops.
Well, that's a lucky penalty. I don't think anyone was touching him the last time he threw himself to the ground.
Never looks good when you get up and clap it as well. Tudor Edwards, unmarked, allowed to tap and run through the middle. It's not the worst option. Can build a good set and grub her through for territory. Going to be the big liner-ups here. Coleman dishes out right side. Just looking around for a little bit more action. Brady Gilchrist resumes in half. Good carry on the outside by Forts Williams. No real pressure being applied to the Roosters defence yet. Just waiting to roll them back slightly. Loader. Taken well in the tackle. Little short side split. Running on craftily. Sets them 10 out. Running into goal. Make that even 7 out. Deep. Edwards shows inside. Flat balls through the line. And really nothing happening there. Probably not the best last tackle move you ever seen. Mo'unga just tackled 5 out from the line and having to surrender underneath. It's not the late set in this half. 5-6 minutes to go.
They haven't had a lot of ball of late, so I think they'll be happy to get to an end of the set, but they would have liked a little bit more class at the end of it. A little bit of polish. Because they got themselves into a decent attacking position, but they won't be happy with that, although it's gone the other way. We're saying that the man playing the ball wasn't facing directly goal line to goal line. Well,
it's my favourite touch rugby penalty.
Yeah, well,
it's good when it gets blown here.
It's always an interesting one. It's one you don't see too often. And quite often it's the defender that sort of twists the tackle player a little bit awkwardly. But now the Sharks, well, there's an error from Williams. It's picked up by Tabakanaka, who is out there in jersey 14. It might be Jaden Solomon that's actually not playing today. So Simon Tabakanaka out onto the field as Sanders. He's put down. Slow play the ball from Sanders. Kerr just looks to have a hit up. It's not too often you have your halfback having a hit up, but he's physical enough. He gets the offload away as well to Mitch Kerr. Narangi Hayata. Tonosimo Tagakakabau. He's put down. And tie up a Graham. Wants to pull through the tackle of Logan Barclay. Goes to Rangi Hayata. He goes to the sky. Getting towards the back end of this first half. It's plucked out of the air. And away go the Roosters. They score out wide. A try to Kalen Jeremiah Phillips. Well, that one came from nothing. Just competing for the high ball. Well, probably the best kick the Roosters have put in all day. And they get a result.
Well, still, it is short, so it's been the target of the day. Just lost it in the wind. Rockingham Sharks had no one retiring in and behind, and well, maybe Interbreeze is the secret sauce for the day. Well, they might start flying downwind at home in this milestone achievement afternoon for Crotty. Probably the hardest kick of the afternoon so far for Boru Kemp out wide. He's probably going to have to heave all he's got into this. Seen even those short ones, he's given full power and barely made the barbecues. Really taking it to the Rockingham Sharks in this first half. 3 minutes to go till half time.
Rockingham, they're desperately seeking a response. They've been able to go with the Roosters in this opening 40. They'll be quite happy, I think, to get to the sheds and you have a bit of a chat to the coaching staff and try and sort of regroup and get themselves back in this game somehow. But you'd think that with the breeze at the back of the Roosters in the second half, it could get a lot worse.
Well, they can just kick out of trouble. If you've got a lead and you've got some wind, as Kemp comes in, just gone a little bit left of the upright. First unsuccessful one of the afternoon. You just think with wind in your back, if you're under pressure deep in your territory, just release an early kick and walk up in a line, and you can relieve pressure all afternoon with a lead of 3-4 tries. Take one more look at this pluck out of the air again. Was good by Jeremiah Phillips for sure. He was happy about it.
Timing. Logan, that's just lazy.
Yeah, well, yeah. You hear we all saw it. Logan Barclay was a metre offside there. The referee said, "Logan, that's just lazy." Was clearly in front of the 50-metre line, but rather than blowing the penalty, allows play to go on because he wasn't actually chasing through. It was just lazily in front of the kicker for no benefit at all. Now the Roosters coming towards the middle with Takakakabau. Flicks one out the back. It's picked up nicely off the heel of the Sharks player. Just kicked it straight up into the arms of Mitch Kurt. Narangi Hayata goes to the sky again. Blowing back towards the Roosters, and Phillips again competes for it. It's put down by the Sharks. This should be 6 again. Another set of 6 coming up for the Roosters. Well, halftime is beckoning, but they want more. They are hungry for more, the Roosters.
Hookers here, hookers here, hookers here. Hookers across, Peggy.
They've just got the word of the time as well.
No, you're not packed.
And they're trying to pack the world's worst scrum here.
Ball in.
That's moved 6-7 metres laterally before we got underway. Kemp, a little inside switch. Good chance, half chance through the line. Oh,
He's gone.
yeah, I think he's definitely gone.
He's copped the knee of Tyapa Graham. He's in a lot of trouble.
Well, that'll be half time for sure.
Well, they're going to look to... He was out before he hit the ground.
We'll probably just wait to see how okay he is before we replay that one again.
No, it was well. He's rolled over onto his back, so he's alive. That's what we can say. But definitely got his head into the wrong position there. Tyapa Graham, he's a big unit and you know, always incredibly difficult to tackle.
Suck him in.
But I wouldn't recommend that technique.
I'm not sure how much other time off there was in this first half though, but if we were in that 10-15 second range, you'd maybe think of heading to the sheds. Thought this might be a longer break than it looks like it might end up being. He's sitting up.
Still trying to work out who it is. I thought it might have been Chionte Moronga.
I think he's trying to figure out who he is.
Well, I think in any case,
He's wobbly.
his day is done.
He's still out, to be honest.
Yeah, no, he's doesn't have control of his of all his limbs. It doesn't get well, concussions don't get too much worse than that. That's a bad one. No fault of anyone, just a defender getting his head in the wrong spot. And you know, Tyapa Graham's done well not to rub his knee because I'm sure it's sore.
Yeah, it's... Don't rub that.
Well, the Roosters still an opportunity to score here before half-time. Goes to Takakakabau. Well, that's a nothing play, a wasted play from the Roosters. Wells Talamavao looks left, goes right. Rangi wrapping around, the old-fashioned run-around, steps back inside and handled well by Loader.
Stand up, hold.
Tuta Edwards went for the one-on-one strip but couldn't get it. Wells Talamaveo puts a little kick in behind. It bounces off. It's kicked by the Sharks. It's picked up by Riggs. There's a knock-on in there from the Roosters. And that should be the break, you would think. And there it is, the halftime siren.
Very dominant start to this one. Fremantle Roosters 22 to the Sharks 6. In Bjorn Crotty's 100th big milestone game. I mean, a real stalwart of this club, and they've rocked up for him at home this afternoon. We'll break down the half that wasn't the half to come after a short little break. We'll be right back with some more NRL action right after this. Welcome back, one and all, second half of this beautiful Saturday afternoon's fixture for you all. Rockingham Sharks taking on the Fremantle Roosters. And the Fremantle Roosters, well, it was a dominant first half display by them. They were getting pieced up a little bit through the middle of the ground by Rocky for the first few minutes, but then it was one-way traffic. A bit of luck involved, Donnie, in a few of those tries, offloads and kicks and deflections, but finished every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great first half from the Roosters, the home side. But you again mentioned the weather. It's first day of winter. I mean, there's a bit of a breeze about, but as that one holds up in the breeze, the Sharks looking like they are going to just try and compete for everything in this second half, and they're going to have to. They're going to have to win a few of those contests as well. But good field position after the short kick-off as the Roosters diffuse that. I want to see Mataka Kakabau. Now with Sanders up over the 40-metre line. He's put down. Wells Talamaveo to dummy half. Taka Kakabau's second run of this set. Gets folded a little bit awkwardly. The veteran front row from the Roosters. It goes back to Kerr for the kick. He gets underneath it. And, well, Riggs flying up high, trying to tap it backwards. He goes for a ride on the back of Kyle James there. But another, despite the fact they've got the wind at their back, Nick, and another shallow kick from the Roosters.
Maybe just you start working your leg in a different direction trying to beat the wind, and now you're stuck. Edwards in the meantime, good little throw on the inside, not met up with Brodie Gilchrist, but I like the idea. Got his arm free in a good position with three defenders turned and a bit of pace in now. Trying to crack on through the line, Forrest Williams. Where's the look going to come from? Nice little jab kick over to the corner, unmarked, so there's going to be a good contest on the tackle. Well wrapped up Boston Smith, but who are the couple of key difference makers here? I mean, Tudor Edwards is always going to have the ball flow through his hands, but you almost think that Coleman's got to take a little bit of pressure off him, maybe be the playmaker on his outside.
Yeah, we saw Boston Smith there had a couple of good involvements. His first time out on the field. Got to say, a player I don't know anything about. Couldn't tell you a single thing about Boston Smith, but his first couple of touches looked promising. So maybe a point of difference. Somebody that if I don't know anything about him, I'm sure the Fremantle Roosters don't know much about him either.
That's a heaving kick.
So that's different. We haven't seen a deep kick from the Roosters all day. That one, absolutely massive. Almost ended up in the primary school over the back. It will be a 7-tackle set, but they've got to wait for all their players to get back on side because an absolute Zach McIntyre's still offside, getting screamed at to get back on so they can take the tap and get on with it.
Those are just the little ones you don't want to see early in the second half when you're behind. That little bit of laziness to get back. You want everyone on the same team here. McIntyre doing a bit of due diligence, taking the hit up for his side after getting yelled at, and he'll probably have to take this one on the inside again. He's trying to float himself blindside, just off camera, and we'll see if they pick him out on purpose. Good penalty one.
Yeah.
Really good Wendy penalty.
Earned it. Surla-Pera just kept fighting. We've seen this a bit from the Sharks too. They get the penalty. They want to take the quick tap. They're not looking for the sideline in the extra territory. They're hoping to catch the Roosters unawares. So Fitu Kerai turns it underneath to McIntyre. Tries to go between defenders. Sanders and Wells Talamaveo make the tackle. They go blindside. A bit of a juggle from Pera. He gets away from Sanders.
They had a little set piece play brewing there. If the pass wasn't behind, they had a double switch option.
Slow play the ball from Pera. Now Williams. Williams straightens. Well, he leaves a couple behind. Taka Kakabau, he's trying to get back in the line. Gilchrist across the face. Dummy go. Towards the line goes Boston. He's not far away. Smith put down. Tudor Edwards looks, puts a kick through. It's off legs. Where is it? Who's going to pick it up? It's dived upon, grounded.
Should be another set.
There we go. Referee was Well, he didn't see anything. He was relying on his touch judge. Touch judge said knock on.
I reckon he
Didn't
saw
say who knocked on.
Yeah, I think he saw the first shin, and then it was shin, shin, shin from there before we got to the knock on, and fair enough in the end.
You play a bit of pinball. You know, if you're a pinball master, I think it helps you to become a better referee. Sometimes you get those ones where you've got to try and follow the ball.
That's twice.
Sulapera struggled to follow the ball on that occasion, but did drop it backwards, luckily for him and the Rockingham Sharks. Slow play the ball, though. So come back towards the middle, pulling out of the one tackle before being chopped down. Kurt Diamond. Now Gilchrist to Williams, who burrows in low, tries to crawl towards the try line. Gilchrist goes out to Smith. Smith floats one over to an unmarked winger, and Kyle James scores in the corner, or has he?
Yeah, but you got your flag like he's out there. Did he go out there? Yes, that's a 20.
Oh, he's gone touch in goal. Well,
Didn't look like the hardest of finishes out there as well, so it's got to be good defence is going to be the only culprit.
I'll be interested to see this replay. Obviously, we're a fair way from that sideline, fair way from that corner. As we have a look at the replay.
The ball was good from Boston.
And he just
Legs
slid
first.
over. His legs have gone into touch in goal. And it is obviously an inexperienced touch judge on that sideline as well, because he had the flag up rather than the correct signal. So the Benny Solomon just confirming with him that it was touch in goal and not into touch before he went into the in-goal area. But he's had a couple of big calls in the last few minutes, that touch judge as well. So it's a high-pressure arena for an inexperienced TJ. But I think he's come up with a couple of good calls. So on the replay, it looked like it was 100% spot on.
Blackburn probably just had to go aerially. Good little jab in behind. Bounce is the question. Picked up nice by Whitey Kerry. Nice little pick off the base as well. Sharks haven't had a real issue with making meters today, and they really haven't had an issue winning a couple of good penalties early in their set. They probably want to wait and fish these ones later in the set, get some bigger combo 10 numbers out of them. But
well, no quick tap this time. They do look for the sideline to try and kick themselves out of trouble. Have a look at that replay, and again, I think he just dropped that. I think very lucky to get that penalty.
I think it's just the watch on what Roosters do so well. They do like to lift you in the tackle a lot, and there's that little bit of leniency there maybe where you've tipped the guy horizontal in order to get him to drop the ball.
Yeah, they wrestle really well. Like it's being tackled by a Fremantle Rooster is like being on a roller coaster. You're getting thrown around all over the place. Your brain doesn't know where it is, so that's why you drop the ball. But I don't think they ripped that one out. But in any case, Smith, short ball. Well, he's having an impact since he's come on, Boston Smith. Looks to have some pretty good ball-playing skills. We'll see if he is able to pick the Roosters apart. Lato, McIntyre, dive forward, takes that one at full length. That was like Glenn McGrath in the outfield, and he plants it down to score the try.
They were really not set up behind the ball. Oh, and 10 in the bin for one as well. Bit of chat on the way through.
Well, offside is, so it's not a try.
Thought he just
it's a penalty to the Roosters. So he was offside inside the 10. And the call again must have come from Jariah, the touch judge on this side of the field.
Holding. Go.
Well, not a try to the Rockingham Sharks.
Great vision though. I mean, yeah, fullback was pulled to the other side of the ground. Short little bit of space. You know they were going to shut as soon as they came short side. So it's a shame that your jack's been flicked out of the deck this early.
Well, it took a long time for first points to be scored in this game, and the second half is going much the same way as a kick from inside the 40. Afitu Kirai is going to have to get on his bike to cut that one off before it goes into touch. So that's a very good kick.
Good chase as well. Look at the numbers.
We've questioned that tactical kicking game, but you said just before half-time that when you've got a lead, you can just use the breeze to kick yourself out of trouble, and that's exactly what the Roosters did there.
And they're following up the effort. I mean, only just now are the Sharks willing to get back on side, and well, this is their third tackle in the set. We've gone 8 metres. They've really just ripped territory out of this game. Oh, and a little eye poke on the way through, but it was incidental. It's uncomfortable. James Blackburn got tackled on the far side before. He's done well to come back. We'll roll it for a second time. This time for real. It was a good practice, everyone.
Now Logan Barclay plays the ball back to Gilchrist. Work out through Loader. Get Tutor Edwards outside him. Bjorn Crotty tried to come up with a one-on-one strip. Goes to Tutor Edwards. He's going to put a little... Well, it's not even a chip. It's almost
I think he missed.
It's almost a grubber. I'm not sure what that was.
It wasn't going to go far if he made full contact, but I think he's still... That's just only got a toe.
Yeah, that's not a replay that Keelan's going to want to watch. It's not one for the highlights reel. He's got plenty in the highlights reel. That one is on the cutting floor.
Heads in.
Got to score points soon. 11 minutes into the second half.
We did get a result from... Again, we've seen a few results from terrible kicks.
Oh, and there's a loose carry in the middle there. Pera.
Ball not knocked on.
Oh, it's going to go... Again,
knock.
It's going to go in favour of the Sharks.
He's keeping him in it.
Well, he's saying one-on-one strip and knocked forward by the Roosters, so it'll be a Rockingham Sharks feed.
And it's a loose carry, Donny.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree with you. It looked a loose carry from Sir LaPera. You've got a right to hold on to that one in contact. That wasn't a strip. That was just contact that knocked it out. But the Sharks, they've got another opportunity to get back into the game. They keep getting given these chances. They have to take one. Admittedly, they did have one stolen from them only minutes ago with the offside penalty against McIntyre. Oh! Great shot from Pennaha. Well, dominant tackle. Referee said you're allowed. He was allowed to spend a bit more time. The Rockingham Sharks player planted the ball on the ground and comes up with the error. Well, that is a forced error if ever you've seen one.
Yeah, that's just making a player frazzled. I mean, you talked about the Freo tackling technique before. That one's a little bit different, more on the forceful side, but certainly spun him around. And yeah, you just try, you get frazzled, you try rush, get to your feet, but there was all rights to the tackler to hang around for a second.
Head in. Lock in.
Got to make sure his collarbone wasn't snapped in half before he got up.
There we go. Head in.
Rugby league, it is undefeated. The referee's having a great time, Benny Solomon.
As bad as it gets, just do your job properly. Know what you need to do. Luke,
I love him. He's one of my favourites. He's one of my favourites, Benny.
where's the ball? Let's go. Ball in.
There's not too many referees that you've ever come across with better chat than Benny.
Hands up.
As Graham put down, plays the ball pretty quickly. Now Riggs looking to come in to take some pressure off the forwards. The big Rig. He's put down by Tutor Edwards.
Use your foot next time.
Told to use his foot next time, so no penalty this time. You're allowed to do it once. That's what the rule book says.
It's fair enough as well. It's given enough back onto the Rocky side in the last couple of minutes. It's one that you're allowed to let slip.
Logan Barclay with a good tackle over the top. They keep working down a short side. Pennaha, well, he laid the hurt in defence. The Sharks try and return the favour there through Barclay. Edwards, well, that's a little bit of game management there from Delane Edwards. Just happy to... They've done a bit of defence recently. Let's just slow things down. Let's have a bit of a breather. Get our defensive line set. And grind this one out for a victory, leading 22 points to 6. on the Cash Converter scoreboard here in MND Awareness Round. And if you were to go and play Premiership.
When you're ready.
The second big game after this one. Still, stay tuned. Queensland Police taking on the combined Allied States. It's a combination of
that one.
Northern Territory, Melbourne, Canberra. Plenty of like any coastal police you can get involved too in WA. Bit of representation there.
A lot of AFP.
A lot of AFP.
A lot of AFP. They'll form the bulk of that affiliated states team. The Queensland side, again, you'd expect they'll start favourites, but that didn't help the Queensland women's team last night. A 12-all draw in what was a fantastic game. And here we are, 22-6, the Roosters leading at the moment as Edwards charges up out of the line. There's a bit of space out wide now. Barclay gets it wider. It goes out to Blackburn. Nowhere for him to go. He goes into touch. The flag goes up. Well, the Roosters' defence just slid across and they handled that pretty easily.
It was once in the first half, and now that's twice in the second half, where Blackburn's probably just got to be a little bit more aware of where he is on the ground. I mean, wingers can always go around the outside, but it's when it's a genuine one-on-one, and that was third, fourth tackle, not really on it halfway, and you just got to take your medicine and step back in there. Gives away opportunity.
Well, it's I feel that some scoreboard pressure is starting to play a little bit of a role, although an error straight away from the Roosters as Diamiand will look to counter-attack.
No advantage. Knock on to you.
Say no advantage, yeah, because the knock-on was a long way further upfield than where he got tackled. So referee says, "Oh, bring it upfield and pack it scrum." Well, they need to score. They need to score very soon, Rockingham. They've had their chances. They've been, again, the better team.
Still plenty of footy left. 23 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. A lot of time. There's another terrible pass.
Pair up. Can he summarise something out of nothing? Almost got the hand free. Wouldn't have been the wisest pass. Diamiand liked his chances down the short side. Instead, Bolth will just crash up. They've got good shape still. Really good shape. Fremantle's defence just so compact. Luat only just gets square, and the pass low outside of Bolth. They've really dealt with him well, the big man Bolth, this afternoon. Barely got his way across the advantage line. Cutting back into it. Throws it over the top of the shoulder, and Gilchrist, a little bit of extra work, but can't gain too far. Big tester on last. Got to get this one in goal somewhere. Nice little cute kick in through for the fullback, and well covered across. Rangahita just shapes across the line, and he's been crunched underneath and probably just doesn't want to get up at all.
Well, he didn't look too much in the tackle. He just stayed down. There's a bit of cramp for the Sharks as well, but Rangahita, he's getting up now.
Well, he went to surrender and he's copped a knee on the way through, and the ribs that'll be then, yeah.
Maybe just knocked the wind out of him.
Weird, pretty weird one to try surrender as well when you had two attacking defenders screaming through to attack the ball.
It's one of the most dangerous vocations on the planet, I think, being a fullback, because you just have to put your body on the line time and time again. Like that is your job. In those situations, it is to get the ball while you have screaming 100-kilogram monsters coming towards you. You have to get in front of the ball, stop them from and stay in the field of play and not move. Like that's your job, just to get absolutely creamed in those situations. And he did his job there, Tuakana Langihaata, and paid a little bit of the penalty. Now the Roosters. Well, it's been almost un-Rooster-like this second half. They have almost tried to defend this lead, which is not something we're used to seeing them do. They're out in front and just trying to control the game, just trying to manage the game. use the breeze, kick deep as we see there, another kick down to the Sharks, but they're certainly not dominating this second half.
I think this has been the glaring factor for me. Look at the time it takes for the Sharks all this second half to get back on. I don't expect them to be sprinting, Donny, but you saw their heads drop real early in this second half and just really ever struggled to stand up for each other and try to peg this margin back early enough. Nice little breakout at the side. Surlapera gets up to halfway, cramping on the trip. Good pop.
That's what they need. They need to create some second phase. They need to create some doubt in this Roosters defence.
Luai, the shadow runner in front. They can send this one high. Might find grass. They've really got this one blown away by the wind and might roll into touch, in fact. The wind's taken all liberty of that kick. I don't think anyone wants to take responsibility for the action of that.
There wasn't too many people that knew exactly where that ball went because it was blowing all over the place, and the chasers went in the wrong direction. The camera went in the wrong direction. Everyone was going the wrong way, and in the end, it just trickles harmlessly into touch. And the Sharks, they don't need to be harmless right now. They need to find their teeth. They need to show them. They need to scare the Roosters here because they're still close enough, if good enough. There's still 20 minutes left in this game, and the Roosters continue to give them chances. They continue to invite them into this game. Rockingham are not done. They are not beaten. But their body language to me suggests they are. I don't know. They need something that is going to get them up and about and motivate them because...
That's it. Even all the errors haven't been from a massive hit and someone enforcing the Roosters to make an error. No, they're just gibbies. Gilchrist left side in the meantime. They're getting closer towards goal again.
Whistle. Blood streaming out. Don't use your jersey. You'll tackle 3. Either come out the back to get fixed up or go off.
Well, that's Tucker Penaha. You have blood streaming out. Don't use your jersey to clean it up, was the communication from the referee.
Ready to go again. Keelan Tudor-Edwards, plenty of options. Backs himself.
Hands out, stand up, let him go.
That's the line looming right in front. Little grubber kick through really early in the set. Bobbles through hands. Should be lost forward, maybe in goal. Will be. So they get another chance. That was a risky option. There wasn't much out wide either, so the ball over the top might have been the better one. Even just a slightly wider chip, but they still get another repeat set. This is probably we're probably closing on double digits for goal line sets for Rockingham this half. Still no score.
One player I am noticing out here at the moment, it looks like he's in the fullback type role there at the minute, is Kelvin Coleman. I want to see him get the ball more. I've seen a lot of Keelan Tudor-Edwards. I've seen a lot of the 14 Boston Smith in this second half. Kelvin Coleman is the guy that needs to get his hands on the ball. Here he goes. Coleman with the ball now, turns it inside for Bolth. That was all a little bit premeditated. And Bolth pulls out of the tackle, keeps driving towards the line. And he's put down just a metre or so short. Now they go wide. Tudor-Edwards to Smith. Smith fires it wide on this occasion. Barclay straightens. Tyapa Graham holds him up. They've got plenty of numbers underneath the ball, and he'll be held up over the line. Well, good defence from the Roosters. The Sharks definitely firing a shot. Gillespie Louis. He waits towards the middle of the field. It goes to Smith. Smith to Tudor-Edwards. Bounces away from 2. Well, he's busted a few tackles. Gets the pass away. Boston Smith towards the line. Gets it down just short. Short of the line, says the referee. Tudor-Edwards waits at dummy half. Well, the Roosters were miles offside, obstructing the ruck. And another penalty to the Rockingham Sharks. 22-6 on the cash converted scoreboard. The Roosters still in front, but they've been defending their line for the last it feels like 15 minutes.
They need this one of these big ball runners just to crash and break a hole. Fremantle will be getting tired. It's not going to take anything special here. Ramika. And outside, you'd think Luai gets his chance here. Instead, no, yes, Luai does get his chance and goes halfway through. He's been working for it for a little bit now. Kept by Luai. Gets the second try for the Sharks of the afternoon. I thought for a long time there that his ball was going to go backdoor and he beat denied again. Luckily, Keelan just gave him the short shovel on the second pump and took a little bit of extra leg driving work, and 22 plays 10, kick to come. Still time in this game, Donny.
Well, I mean, if you keep bashing on bulletproof glass, eventually it'll break. That's what happened there. It was the Rockingham Sharks. They have been banging on the door for so long, and eventually it just fell down. It wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't anything flashy. As you said at the start of that set of 6, it didn't need to be.
Didn't need to be. They had to be tired.
Yeah. Kalepi Louis just running a hard, straight line, wanted it more, wanted to get the ball to the ground, did. They score, and they're right in this contest. 15 minutes still to go. The Sharks knock it over, 22 points to 12 on the Cash Converters scoreboard. The first points of this second half. It was 22-6 at half time. It's taken a long time to get first points in the second half. It's a 10-point ball game with 15 minutes left. That's plenty of time.
And it begs the question as well. I mean, it's as predicted that Fremantle Roosters would kick long in their sets and just relieve that pressure. And then the one real attacking chance they had, Delane Edwards grubbed it into touch as well anyway, just to milk that clock off a little bit more.
Who are you backing from here, Nick?
You want to see the Sharks get this done, but, I mean, there's a lot on the line for the home side and Crotty as a whole. There's a big night to come as well, you'd think. That one's gone dead.
What was that?
Just watched it.
It just hung up in the air, and no one wanted to catch it. There was Ben Bowl shaking his head. Boston Smith was the man that had to say mine. He said yours. No one caught it. Goes dead in goal, and they've scored to make it a 10-point ball game. And instead of keeping themselves in the game, they're inviting the Roosters to put that margin back beyond what the Sharks can chase.
If you asked me the question that you asked me before the kickoff, after the kickoff, well, then I would have said
answer.
Roosters.
Different answer.
It's okay. It's okay to make a tip on Roosters now. It's only one set the difference, but it can mean all the difference, Kemp.
What I want to see is the Roosters play football.
Yeah.
Because they have shut down in this second half and they've tried to defend a lead. That's not their go. They've got to continue playing footy.
Clearing, put on the line, hold.
And if they can do that here, they can really put this game to bed. As Delane Edwards goes across, Rangi Hayata tips it on to Manu. Manu tips it on and getting it down before he goes into touch. A try to the Roosters. Jeremiah Phillips has a double. And the Roosters may just have wrapped this one up.
I mean, it probably is a try, but I've got this left elbow. Maybe just getting the line first. Oh, you'd be a hard customer to overturn that, actually. But that's tighter than you think. I think that's a lot tighter than you think if we slowed that right down.
Yeah, and again, if we had a bunker, I think it stays as a try. I think the ball gets down before the elbow goes down to the ground.
But some good vision from the team at LMSC to bring us that one. Caused a little bit of controversy out on the wing.
It's fantastic vision that we've been brought here today throughout this contest. But also, I've got to say that the touch judge did a great job.
Confident call.
Jariah, on that sideline was perfectly positioned.
And he saw it, and then he pinned the ears back and went, I'm going in goal, boys, because I've seen absolutely nothing here.
Well, his positioning was perfect there too. So he was right on the line. He stood back. He saw it, the ball hit the ground, and then he sprinted into the in goal to let the referee know it was a try. Fantastic work from the NRL WA officiating team. And, of course, the Roosters. We can't undersell the work there from Jeremiah Phillips to get that one down.
Around the grounds as well, Donny, at the moment. The Sea Eagles 44-6 over the Joondalup Giants. So not the scoreline you'd fully expect out there this afternoon. Kemp in the meantime, second one he's tugged on the inside.
Well, with 10 minutes to go, as we have another look at this try to the Roosters winger, Kurt Diamiand got across there, a little bit of late effort, and gets the ball down, 26 points to 12. Well, you think Fremantle are going to get home from here? Hasn't been quite as good a half as they would have liked.
Hands off now, 4! Oh, and 1.
It's been a quiet afternoon from Wiley, but he hasn't made any mistakes. And another good carry there.
Normally he puts on an absolute perler of a shot at some stage in the game as Bjorn Crotty gets out of that tackle, gets up to go again. Here's baby Bjorn no more, game number 100. Again, oh, that ball hits the deck and a little sloppy from the Roosters. And, well, it feels like a game that's winding down towards full time. 9 minutes to go until the siren sounds. You'd say the result is done and dusted. It's hard to see Rockingham coming back.
I think you just got to highlight exactly what's happened in the last few minutes. It's been complete game management from the Roosters. Then they conceded. So they said, no worries, we'll go score one then, and we'll put the margin back to where it was, and we'll go back to game management.
That's it. Sulapera.
Team playing with confidence, that's for sure.
Getting up out of the line there, Sonny Kerr looking to put a shop on one of the Sharks' try scorers in Kalepi Louis. Now Rockingham, they go wide through McIntyre, goes wider still. Afitu Kerai tips it on to Barclay. Barclay stands in the tackle, looks to roll over. Wants to put the ball down, but can't get it to the try line. Tutor Edwards, Coleman holds the ball in two hands, can't find a runner for his life. No one wanted to run off his shoulder at all there. He ended up having to run himself. Now Williams bounces away from one, driven backwards, tries to get the momentum going forward, reaches out. Well, he was an absolute powerhouse. He kept moving forward, perpetual motion from Fortes Williams, and he gets it down. And the Sharks, their slim hopes remain alight.
That's just leg drive personify there. Probably, I want to even count the steps after contact. I mean, he's already up to 5, 6. We work through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then just flops it always forward. That's a lot of steps through contact with 3 players on your back, all trying to drop weight on you to manage to pull off 14 steps in a row. Edwards, in the meantime, dots over the extra 2. While this one comes back onto halfway, I believe our good friend Mitch Wade Whalen has made his way back from the doctor's office after playing a rough reserve grade game. And Mitchell, you're back here with us now.
Sonny, just a slow job.
I am, mate. I am. Unfortunately, I had to see the doctor, but I'm all good.
So the elbow's all good, mate?
Yeah, it popped out and popped straight back in, so it doesn't look too bad at the moment.
All right, well, and then have you seen much of this game quickly before kickoff?
Timing.
I have, mate. I have. It's been a tight contest. I don't think the scoreline really reflects how it's going.
No, not at all.
But I think, Freo should hold on here.
Yeah, they should. They're managed well. There's still a chance, and there's a lot of big bodies out there. We'll come back to you after the game, Mitchell. Thank you very much for coming back in, and we'll see you in the second game as well, I hope.
Plenty of bodies there directed at Ben Bolt. He's one of the great stirrers of the NRL WA competition is Ben Bolt, and every team loves to put a shot on him. Roosters got plenty of numbers to try and do it on that occasion. Bjorn Crotty takes care of Williams on this occasion, the most recent try scorer. Inside ball, Tudor Edwards as a ball runner. Well, that's where he's probably most dangerous. He probably hasn't run the ball enough today. As it goes now to Smith. Smith puts a little kick over the top, and that is a nothing kick, really diffused well there by Riggs.
Now, Logan, stand up. Holding.
Well, they needed to be perfect after scoring points there. Did the Sharks, and that was far from perfect. The kick at the end of it was a great set.
Good sets leading up. Big bodies doing their work, and yeah, you're not wrong. When Keelan has run the ball today, it's been as first receiver, but just if you can get on the outside shoulder a couple more times throughout games like this and be a pass receiver, ball running on, and it's probably a good point to chuck in there. Kevin Coleman, if he got inside Keelan a bit more and let Keelan was able to receive a bit more and run when he can, otherwise fade into the back line, there's a lot more options out there. Great tackle by Kevin Coleman, the man we are speaking about.
Play it.
Well, it was a good tackle. I don't know what Reggie Manu was carrying on about there, but again, Sonny Kerr hitting the belly of the ball, and Pora Kemp, he knocks that one backwards. It's dived upon eventually by the Sharks, and that'll be play on. Smith getting on it. Surlapera gets away from Kemp, gets away from Wells Talamavao before he's eventually met and put down. Just short of the halfway line. Well, if they're going to do it, they've got to do it now. Goes out the back of Williams. To Diamyand. Nowhere for him to go. Now Keelan. He's up to the 40-metre line. They've got to come up with something. Kelvin Coleman to dummy half. He goes to McIntyre. Catches it around his bootlaces, but runs into Sonny Kerr. Nowhere to go. Tackle 5. Well, it's now or never. It's got to happen now for the Sharks. If it is going to happen, it goes to Smith. Smith, he dribbles one in behind. It's dived upon by the Roosters, and that might very well be the ball game. We've got about 3.5 minutes still left on the clock, so they'll get another use of the football, but they need to score a couple of tries if they are to get home. So Fremantle, looks like they are going to hold on. It hasn't been the most of impressive second halves. I thought they were great in the first 40, Nick, and that's where they won the game.
I think it's just one of those second halves where you can't doubt the game management techniques that they've used the whole half. This is the first bit of risk we've seen in the middle of the ground the entire half. But you can't question their commitment and the way they've adjusted styles each time required. I think Crotty's due a big run through the middle of the ground before we finish this one up. He's just on the inside shoulder now. Puts himself outside, in fact. On last, so this won't be his ball, that's for sure. Instead, Kerr through hands and wider still. Manu cracks on the outside, got caught under his own toes, and Jeremiah Phillips just dots one through. Big chase on through the backfield and not going to escape the in goal.
Drop out.
Zach McIntyre tackled in goal. Drop out looming. Smart through the hands here. We like that last little ball. Do you reckon you could pull off a kick that quickly before the defender smacked you, Donny?
That's how I did my second ACL. No. Trying to do exactly that, and got hit from the side as I kicked it, and yep, that was the end of my career.
Well, that's a good drop out. Lost forward off the Roosters. So no territory game, but ball back in hand for the Rockingham Sharks. Tussle for the ball.
So when you cramp, you got to hold on to balls there.
Oh, Benny Solomon. Yes, Diapa Graham said he couldn't let go of the ball because he was cramping.
I do like as well, though, with all of his language this afternoon, the only thing at Treeby Community Centre at risk of this program getting shut down is the referee. Could say anything at any moment here. 2 minutes or 1 minute to go.
He's got a great relationship with the players, Benny Solomon, and he talks like a human being. So often you see referees that are too robotic and too restrictive, and he actually talks to the players. He understands the game, and they're one of the great referees here in Western Australia. The Rockingham Sharks in the final minute of this game looking to give their fans something to cheer about as McIntyre takes on Kerr, goes through looking for a runner in support and can't find one. He goes to ground, plays the ball to Perra. Perra out the back to Coleman. Coleman's going to go to the sky. Everybody flat-footed. The ball across field and it goes into touch.
Came right off the inside of the boot.
Well, yeah, not a great kick. He's... I like Kelvin Coleman, but he has not had a great day today. A couple of his kicks haven't gone where he wanted them to at all.
And there was a bit of that into the wind today. Both sides a bit average into the wind.
Yeah, and it is it's a different type of kicking. He's a very good tactical kicker. He's a pinpoint accurate type kicker. And when the breeze comes in, it completely changes where you're sort of aiming. And he hasn't handled that overly well today, Kelvin Coleman. And he'll know that as well as anybody. And the Sharks, they'll bounce back from this loss.
Where's Crotty? Haven't seen him.
Well, there he is. There he is with the ball in hand. Dummies go straight through
son.
On cue.
They're
lining up and away they go to score the try. Jules Wilson-Wiley gets a very, very rare double as well, the front row. But Bjorn Crotty, game number 100. On cue, just as you mentioned him, Nick.
You had to do something in the last couple seconds of the fixture. And the only thing I'm disappointed in is I think he had rights to take the fullback on there.
Dummy and go.
Dummy and go. Or at least follow up and say, hey, you got to give that one back to me.
Yeah.
I'm not offloading twice for try assist today. That's not what we do in our 100th.
Let's put it down together.
Shortly you earned the right there, boys.
Yeah, I think, Mitch, you're going to have to give him a bit of a chirp on that one after the game, if you don't mind, please.
Just the Fijian sidestep. I think he's played for about every nation here in Western Australia, Bjorn Crotty. He's 1/6 of every country in the world, isn't he, Mitch?
This is bad, It's cutting in and out.
Mitch, headset troubles.
He's not getting involved in that conversation.
I was just saying, I think he earned the right there to at least dummy and go himself.
Absolutely, he did, bub. You're going to have to write him up for it in the post-game.
Donnie would have.
Absolutely, but I'm selfish. Bjorn Crotty, he's always a team player. As the siren sounds in the background. And the Roosters, well, they run out convincing winners here in the end, 32 points to 18. Deserved winners too. I think they were the better team throughout the game.
I think well-tipped, well-formed. Home crowd, always a positive, and you'd hope they know a little bit about the home wind as well. So, yeah, they've sure packed the house this afternoon here for a big double-header. Real quickly, though, before we touch into that double-header and let you go tonight, Mitchell Wade-Whalen sideline with the milestone man.
I am, mate. I'm here with the milestone man himself, Bjorn. Congratulations, mate, on 100 games. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. Boys got the win. You know, I'm pretty short for words after games. Lose my voice, so... But, you know, last time they pulled our pants down, and this time the boys stuck in it. We got the win, so we'll take that.
I'm sure you're really proud to accomplish what you have, mate, with this fantastic club, and I've been a part of that as well, and I'm sure these boys are really proud as well, and that means a lot to you, doesn't it?
100%, boys. Like, that's why we still play here. The group we've created since I've been here, you just can't match that anywhere else. So 100 games today, 100 beers tonight.
Well done, brother. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Back to you, boys.
Mitch down on the sideline there. He got nervous to call out his mate, I think, there. He didn't want to get lined up for a little post-gamer. But yeah.
I did.
You didn't chip him about not dummying and going, mate. That's disappointing.
No, he told me he had no energy left to talk, and I was like, get over here now.
That's all right. Thank you, Mitch. We'll come back to you.
But yeah, fantastic, mate. What an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's a big 100 games for a very good club that's moved into a brand new oval, and certainly like seeing it, that's for sure. Donnie, final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, well, as I say, I think that the Roosters deserve to win there today.
Yeah.
But the Sharks weren't disgraced. I think they had their chances in that second half and just couldn't quite take them. They'll bounce back from that. They're a good team. They'll be right up there when the whips are cracking the back end of the season. Looking forward to seeing how they progress through the year.
Yeah, agreed.
That's us. Well, that's it for us down here at Treeby Community Centre for Game 1 this afternoon. Fremantle Roosters 32 over the Rockingham Sharks 18. We'll take a short little break and then we'll be back with the CAS versus Queensland Police men's fixture for this week. And I hope you all stick around and join us for that one.